Well, what a dramatic end to a pulsating second half at the City ground, but it all sort of burst to life in stoppage time there. And as a bigger victory as it feels for Liverpool, Jamie, you couldn't help but feel sorry for Nottingham Forest, particularly after the effort they put into that first half.
Yeah, and I think the manager will be really pleased on the back of his first two games, one in Europe and one against one of the top teams in the Premier League. And the reason why I think he should be really confident this Nottingham Forest team can stay in the Premier League is because of the midfield three. I think it's one of the best sort of midfield threes in the Premier League. If you maybe take out the teams who are going for the title. And when I saw Wirtz wasn't playing today for Liverpool, I thought Liverpool would have a problem in the middle of the pitch, and that certainly was the case in the first half. So if you actually look at these players here, Sangare, you've got obviously Morgan Gibbs-White is in the 10, and then you've got Elliot Anderson in the number 8 role. And this just happened right throughout the first half, where they just took the ball off Liverpool's midfield. This was early in the game. Curtis Jones, Sangare, absolutely fantastic. And then lovely ball into Callum Hudson-Odoi. And how many times have we seen Alisson Becker come out and make that save? Probably the best we've seen in the Premier League in terms of dealing with 1v1 situations. And this happened continually in the first half with that midfield three. They're all involved again there. See, Elliot Anderson, this time he gets his shot away. And what's really interesting is, even if you just take it back, when you think of a balance of a midfield, and what you want is your holding midfield player here, holding the fort. You want one maybe attacking, running with the ball involved, and then one making a run off the ball. So there's a real sort of balance, I would say, in that midfield three. And as I said, in that first half, they were excellent. And it continued to the start of the second half. And this is a chance where Morgan Gibbs-White and then Sangare comes on, doesn't quite finish. So the only thing that let that midfield down was not getting, a goal or an assist in that first half.
Because it was one of complete dominance for Nottingham Forest. We can show you the stats of what that actually looked like at half-time. I did say after the game it was the worst 45 minutes of their season, or worst first half of their season. The fewest shots they've had as well, with just 2. But 12 from Nottingham Forest, actually the most that Liverpool have faced in a game. You have to go all the way back to May 2015. I think it was a Stoke game, Jamie, when actually Liverpool were 5-0 down at half-time. So really, they got away with one in that first half, and they knew it.
They did, and I said at half-time it was a horror show. We've seen some really poor performances this season, but that was right up there, I think, top of the list. And it had to improve in the second half, and it did. But you just want to go to the disallowed goal and the goal Liverpool scored. And I just want to look at the role the centre-backs played in it, who were probably two of the players who probably you wouldn't be too critical of, certainly in that first half. But, I mean, as you can imagine, I'm watching the game, and I was a bit frustrated with Virgil van Dijk here. So this was late in the game, and he just positions himself right next to the two centre-backs of Nottingham Forest. And look, Murillo links him, Milenkovic is behind him, and he can't actually move. So when the ball comes in, your best header of the ball can't get on the ball, because he's almost marked himself, standing in the centre of the box. And then comes out to Joe Gomez. So Bosley, again, the clip we'll get to shortly, for the winning goal. Allows Gomez to put it in, but it's poor. But look at Konate here. He does absolutely fantastic here, keeps it alive. And Rio Engamoa here now does something I haven't seen a Liverpool wide player do all season. Go out as fullback, commit him, and put real quality into the box. And Ekitike has to score. And then Liverpool think they have scored, but Ola Aina is a very, very lucky man.
It's
for two reasons. Yeah,
bizarre sequence
for two reasons why. It comes out here wide. And just keep an eye on, we've mentioned Rio, but just keep an eye on the back post. We just run it on it slowly now so we get Ekitike into shot. So Rio goes past his man, and what you've got here at the back post is Hugo Ekitike with two defenders at the back post, Milenkovic and Ola Aina at the back. It's criminal. He doesn't see him. A fullback always has to check his shoulder, but he must be able to hear him. He's breathing and running, making a run in behind him. And they just look in complete shock when they see that. Ekitike is in a brilliant position, misses it, but he gets away with it again, Ola Aina, because he should head that away. He's very lucky to think you've got that much time in the box to now control this and wait for it to come down. That has to be headed away there, so he's very, very fortunate. But the goal from McAllister was rightly disallowed, because as you can see there, clearly it hits him right on the elbow.
And as he told us after the game, he felt there was still time for him and his team to get another chance.
Well, maybe that was on the back of that. You know, a couple of years ago, Liverpool scored a late winner in similar circumstances. Again, with I think Darwin Núñez. But I mentioned the centre backs again. I want to go to Virgil van Dijk. So rightly now he's putting himself in a position for the long throw, and what he's done is he's split the two centre backs because Milenkovic is there now and Murillo's now marking him. So Joe Gomez.
Why is he taking it from there?
Well, I think he's about to have a run up, and he's about to take his run up for the long throw, Joe Gomez. But he sees Szoboszlai's free. But it's better from Virgil van Dijk. He doesn't mark himself. But now this ball comes to Szoboszlai. And the thing I love about this now is the actual football arrogance of it. But we'll come back to that when we look at it from another clip, another angle, I should say. But the quality is absolutely fantastic. And I think, again, Virgil van Dijk does brilliantly because he keeps that ball alive. I don't think Virgil van Dijk's trying to score. But when I talk about football arrogance with Szoboszlai, that ball comes to him now. It's easy to do that. And maybe if he loses the ball there, I'm criticising him. It's easy to go there. And maybe they are the right passes. I think last season or the year before, Szoboszlai makes those passes. I think now he's got the arrogance of, I'm the best player in this team. I'm one of the best players in the Premier League and European football, and I'm going to make something happen here. So he decides to almost take on his man where he's got easy passes, but again, that comes from confidence, arrogance. Not on the left foot, just gets half a yard, and then he puts it in. And then for me, Virgil van Dijk at that back post now, I think he's just trying to keep that alive and keep it in an area. And credit to McAllister. Listen, he had a really poor game, McAllister, along with a lot of Liverpool players in the game. But he gets the winning goal. But look at this from Szoboszlai, brilliant. He's just waiting for that moment to get that half a yard, and he's got it now. But can he deliver? Yes, he can. Brilliant from Van Dijk, and credit to McAllister. And what I would say as well is credit to the manager, and I'll tell you another reason why. Again, this is us looking at Virgil van Dijk.
Got a good chunk of his shirt there, Ola Aina, as well.
And what he's definitely guiding that header back across goal. Some people would try and score from it. He would never be able to score from it because he wouldn't be able to generate the power. The reason I'm talking about McAllister is, listen, we're going to look at the offside here.
Yeah, it was questioned at the time, and remember that the previous goal, McAllister goal, was ruled out, and there was this very interesting delay again in the stadium and in the studio here with one or two excitable people watching, thinking, is this one going to get chalked off? And you can see by about that much, Virgil van Dijk, who made that header, is onside.
Well, I was very critical with VAR for the first one, but as I said, I'm a big VAR advocate after that one. But the interesting thing with McAllister, I go back to what the manager did. He brought Curtis Jones in late, and it kind of been easy for him. He had a poor first half, Curtis Jones. He made that change with Curtis Jones going to right back, Dominic Szoboszlai coming into midfield, but he didn't change positions. What happened was Curtis Jones was almost playing the Wirtz role. Then, when he's made the change, Szoboszlai went into the McAllister, and McAllister went higher up the pitch. And listen, they are set pieces, if you like, where the disallowed goal and the goal have come from. But the fact that he was maybe in more advanced role, maybe a little bit credit to the manager, who I think made great substitutions.